Hello everyone, my name is David. What I want to research is how mentally and physically do athletes feel from coming back from injury. Why am I going to do this? I'm doing this because I've had previous injuries, which kicked me out for quite a long time. And it's been quite stressful because not being able to play my sport is quite depressing really. I want to find out how other athletes felt from being in the same position of what I felt. So I'm going to look at the psychological aspects and the physical aspects. My previous injuries were broken toe, fractured wrist, cracked rib and knee ligament damage, roughly. Especially the knee ligament damage, it kept me out for a long time. The main things what annoyed me was because I was out for about 3 or 4 months. I felt depressed, unmotivated, and the only thing what actually got me back playing football was my dad and my coach. Because my dad came to my games every week, and he was just like on the sidelines to motivate me. And when I get bad games, he was just always there to sort of coach me. And my coach, because he believed in me, just wanted me to keep playing. My introduction is it's all about finding out athletes that have had bad injuries. I want to find out what they go through in the sport, who it affects more, if they've had serious injuries, and if it was out for a long period of time, if it would what process they went through to actually getting back into it. I'd like to find out from different injuries in different sports and different agenda, both agenda. I have a couple of articles sort of give me a bit more on the next couple slides. My aims are to find out what phases to come back from injury, to see who it affects more, what are the setbacks, what they do when they've been out for so long, what keeps them motivated, who keeps them motivated, what support they have when they're not playing the sport. My objectives are I'll be interviewing a few people who had previous injuries, who supports them, how do they actually stay motivated after such a long period of time, and what their recovery was. My first article is about some elite skiers that have been have long-term injuries. So the article is basically saying that they've been interviewed, and that going by their research, they've had a lot of support through the process to actually getting back into the sport. They were so unmotivated and they needed a lot of emotional help to actually getting back to the top level. That's the first one. The second one's about 2 middle-aged long-distance runners. They've had serious injuries from falling on a cross-country run. It's damaged their legs. This one sort of tells me about they were one of the long distance runners was affected more, and he had to have a lot of emotional work to actually get him through the process. He struggled to contend with the injury and the role that he's been set. He struggled to maintain a positive attitude in the face of a serious threat to the running themselves. So that's the second one. 2 totally different ones. My method, I'm going to use interviews and looking at different articles to make it expand. I'm going to interview because it's a good way of finding out what people have gone through. I know it's personal, but I'll be asking people I know. like, with actual answers to the questions. As for my research articles, I'll be finding a couple more interesting articles to give me more information I need to use in my project. I want to ask a few people in my class and a few that I know that have had bad injuries, because it would be good to find out what they have all went through. The number of participants I would be interviewing is about 7 or 8 people, and it would be all on different sports and different injuries. Once I get all my data, I'll be, from the interviews and the articles, I'll compare and contrast them with each other. And there's my references. There's a few pictures of just bad injuries, broken nose, broken leg, I'm lifting too much weight.
How's going on that guy's leg?
One could look back at it.
Anyone got any questions?
That one's really bad.
Why have you picked 7 to 8 people to be interviewing? Why that sample size?
That's a minimum size. As for because there's quite a few people in our class.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll pick about 4 or 5 from the class, and then go to like my football team and ask the rugby team.
Okay.
Sort of
So is it a range of different sports then?
Yeah,
Why are you looking at a range of different sports?
because there's different ways to get injured, and like say rugby is like mainly shoulders and stuff, and like concussion and stuff like that, and then football will be like leg injuries.
And are your questionnaires or interviews going to focus on mental or physical recovery or both? Anybody else got any more questions?